Hello everybody, nice to have you here. Today I want to very shortly tell about Adobe Commerce Admin UI SDK. As for me, it was a very big pain to understand how it works and to basically integrate it. So first of all, small intro, what is Admin UI SDK? Yes, correct, it's a way to add your Builder application or Adobe Builder application within your Adobe Commerce backend in case if you build in the UIs. Because currently, if you deploy your application on runtime, you have single page application, you have to go to your applications to find it and to get the URL to it and have it in a separate window. I already had several complaints that it's not very comfortable from the customer perspective. If they're working with Adobe Commerce, they want to work with Adobe Commerce and have their own and single entry point. So for that exists Adobe Commerce Admin UI SDK, and I already made a video on this topic because we extended the grids with it. What I want to show, on last update of our native module, I tried to integrate it within backend to have a single page application. So I want to add a menu item. So I just want to make a small recap what I learned, how I did it. Just maybe it will be useful for somebody or even for myself, because in 1 month I'll forget about it. So let's have a look. I will start from the end. That's our feed generator module, which currently within Adobe Commerce backend of SaaS environment in this example. And as you see, it's here, it works fine. You have a feeds, you can save them, you can edit them, you had schema fetch, you have auto completions, everything works fine. Except one point, but I will touch it a bit later on. Just some background information. So first of all, you have standard Adobe Commerce backend, doesn't matter PaaS or SaaS. You have the Builder integration run onto the separate menu item. To make it works on a production system, you need to have Adobe EMS login enabled. So you cannot do it within standard login, so you need to have EMS enabled. Then you need to change the way how your extension looks. And before I'll go there is official documentation. I guess I already shared multiple times how it works and so on. And let's have a look on installation. That's in case if you are not on SaaS but on PaaS, you need to install some libraries with the composer. But you can just go through the manual. Then you have API registration. In my case, I already had an application which had a home page. I just showed it. That was a home page if you remove this menu item from the left side, this one. So that's my application. That's like a recommended structure, and I followed it. So I have assert C, Commerce Backend UI 1, Actions, Web assert C, and then xconfig YAML. So it's the same as you can see here. We have everything here defined, Actions, which is not quite interesting for us now, but web source is here, and we have xconf YAML. Then we updated or created our install YAML file, which is quite simple. You don't need to worry about anything here much. You need to add your extension points to define this Commerce Backend UI. Also add those two categories, Actions and UI. Also here, so all looks good for me. Let's move forward. Then we define extension manifest JSON, which is here. So yeah, and in this file you define in the name of extension, description, version, and platform. So that's quite static content. You need to have it, you need to define it, but that's not something you need to take care about too much. Then you need to install this use guest module within your package JSON, so just do it. And then you see there is like telling you need to add this extension registration component. I don't have it. So it was removed in later versions. It's officially still stated in documentation you need to have it. So I talked to Adobe guys. Thanks a lot them for support, because otherwise I would struggle even longer. They told it was officially removed, but it's still part of the documentation because they still may use it on next releases. So it's still recommended to have it, because if you don't and they release a new version and will expect to have you there, it will crash. For me, I currently added those files here. It's SRC components extension registration dist. I have it here. I put it as a dist for now. but in case if I need, I can just uncomment it and start to use it. But again, at this moment, for example, for me, it's not required. So if something doesn't work, don't try to dive too much there at the beginning. Again, depends on the time when you're using this module. I didn't really need it. Then is this app.js routing. Wait, before I'll go to app.js routing, I want to start first with this one. So first of all, we have our xconfig YAML file, and we define our registration action for our application. For me, it was, So here we have this packages admin UI SDK. Then we have function for registering the module. And if you go to actions, registration index PHP, that's how it looks like. So that's already a file which been read by the system to build the menu items. So as you can see, we have here the main level, which is feed generator. Then we have another one, which is configuration. That's how it looks like, feed generation, configuration. And yeah, and this ID here, that was struggled a bit. This ID here, I made very stupid mistake. I created it like this. Dashes is not allowed there. It's fail, and I didn't know why, so I need to dive and to understand it. So yeah, that's the way how I create in the menu item. You can also define another parent if you wanted to put it in another existed menu item. I created a new one. So I define in the action, and yeah, that's how the action look like for plain runtime, not for menu. I mean, I made it for menu. You can go here to menu extension part, and here you define. You also have some another parameters. You can maybe have a look just to know how it looks like. One more good point which helped me also a lot is to check on the admin UI SDK menu, custom menu example module. I mean, been last updated 2 months ago, so I assume still maintained. And I guess from this point that was it, because I already had an app.js file with a home page, so I didn't need to take care about this one. I had already home page running. And that's it. After I added all this changes, structure deployed, and to see my application here. Wait, sorry, I'm wrong. I first have to go to config. Then I have to go to services, admin UI SDK, enable it for sure. I have here log enable because I debugged a bit. And then when you're doing configure extensions, after you will deploy it, you will see it here. So the extension you will see here. You can also choose the workspace, and then after you will select it, you click save, and then it's initializing and saving information about the stuff you extended, and then your menu item will appear. So after you will do it, your menu item will appear here. If something doesn't work and you need to understand what, you can go to system, admin UI SDK logs, and it will help you a lot to understand what's going on. Logs been removed, so wait, let me try it. So I configured it, I can go to logs, and I see that here's registration refreshed successfully. If you have any errors, you will see them here also. And from this point, that's it. So I have my menu item, I have my extension. One more point, why I said I had a problem and not everything works as I expected. When you first deploy an application and you expect that you build it first and test it outside of Adobe, that you first build and test it without Adobe Commerce, like just a standalone single page application, and everything works fine for you. After integrated here, just may stop working, because for me, when I have my storefront, it's invoked some actions, right? So it's like get stores, do something else, fetching data and so on. And that's the backend actions which are secured. But Here your application don't have Adobe MS context, so it's not authorized. So the requests which are going then to actions are not authorized. What you have to do in a places where you call in the actions. So for me, for example, is the feed form element. Here, I especially added some debug here for myself. So you have to validate if your properties don't contain the EMS context and you don't have a token available. You need to get it. And you can get it by defining the guest connection and attach your module ID and then get the token and organization from this guest connection shared context get token and org ID. After you will do it, your actions will start to receive those properties and they will start to work. So after I aligned this one, I could finally make my action work. That's why they work now. What doesn't work for me? Let me show you. I have here one action. When I hit the regenerate the feed, you see I'm doing initializing of the events and then creating the cloud event. So the token you have on your Adobe Commerce system, it's token generated when you log into the system to Adobe Commerce and has a defined set of scopes. These scopes does not contain the scope for creating events. So for me, this action doesn't really work because even if I bypass token from the front end to my action, I still don't have permissions to create an event, and this one failed. For now, I addressed it to Adobe team. I hope they can fix it somehow. So again, hope when you're watching this video, it's already fixed or it's already changed. If not, there is a fallback option that you have to define your secret and client ID within your application and then change this way to get EMS token not from the incoming parameters from front-end application, but basically just get them from environment parameters, generate EMS token, and then use this token to send a new event for application, which will work, but require a bit more work from customization and from configuring the extension, which I'm trying to avoid. So I'll wait some time. If it will not happen, then I will need to change it and we will have version 2.1.0 of our module. And that's it. I hope it was interesting. As I said, especially this video, I record for myself shortly because I know I'll forget it in a month, how to add a new menu item and how it looks like. So at least I will have some reference and which I can work with. If you found it interesting, I will be very happy if you will subscribe, maybe leave some comment, and we will see each other in the next video.